It is Wednesday, March 30th. Dave is dying, so we're here. Big story of the day: D'Angelo Russell and Swaggy P. D'Angelo Russell filmed Swaggy P confessing to cheating on his. Is Iggy Azalea? Are they married or are they just engaged?
I think they're engaged.
I haven't seen the wedding. I'm sure the wedding would be some fucking ridiculous bullshit. So if I can't remember pictures of that, I'm guessing it hasn't happened yet. D'Angelo Russell filmed them talking about fucking 19-year-olds, about steering clear of Amber Rose just because she knows Iggy Azalea.
Which is smart.
Now, what's that?
That part was smart.
Smart. That was the only smart thing. Yeah, that was very very smart. The Lakers are like shunning D'Angelo Russell now. They won't pass to him. They won't sit with him. He's getting punked. Keith, what's your take on this?
I hate when people say, like, use millennials all the time, like, oh, millennials are ruining the country. This is so millennial. In this case, though, like, D'Angelo filming someone talking about cheating on the girl and then uploading it to social media is, like, the most millennial thing that can happen to someone. Like,
but to be fair to D'Angelo Russell, he didn't upload this. It was leaked somehow. I don't know how it leaked. But like he didn't like tweet this video or anything like that.
But to film it in the first place, to think that every single thing that happens is film worthy, like your friend confessing cheating on his soon-to-be wife. Like you don't need to film that, and you don't need to save it on your phone.
That's 100% correct. But I do want to say, like everyone keeps saying D'Angelo Russell snitch. He didn't snitch. He was a fucking idiot for recording this video. But there's a difference between just being an idiot and like actually being a snake.
But wait, I saw someone say that his Snapchat got hacked, and that's how they found it?
Yeah, no, Snapchat, you can only film 10 seconds. This was like a 20-second video. It wasn't a Snapchat.
That's a point where me not having Snapchat hurt my reporting skills, so I'm going to raise my hand on that one. He's still, D'Angelo Russell, the fact that he is now Steven Glansberg, and no one will talk to him, and like the visual of going to the team like breakfast or whatever where everyone's together and he's the only one sitting by himself and no one will like deal with him is fantastic. I think he deserves it. I don't know why. I've always hated D'Angelo Russell. There's no real reason. I think it's because I get him and Evan Turner kind of like put together because they're both Ohio State high draft picks. They're both douchebags in my mind. So this was coming from a long way away. And I will also say this. I bet the Heat tonight, the minute I saw this story, this is classic, like, Lakers are going to win outright. I have the Heat minus 10. I know the Lakers are going to win. They're going to, like, rally around D'Angelo Russell or something. Some bullshit.
He's got to get out of L.A., right? Like, I don't know what his contract is. But
okay, so this is a good question because I wrote this in the blog. Like, you basically have to cut everyone except him because I don't know. I mean, you just used, what is he, the third pick in the draft? He's really, besides Randall, he's, like, their only real asset, right?
Yeah, and they didn't play him. Like, the owner had to force the coach to play him. They didn't play him all year, and he finally gets minutes, and now the team hates him. So the coach hates him, and the team hates him.
I don't know. You trade him, he becomes a superstar. Like, you can almost guarantee it, you know?
It's either him or Randall. Only one of them can say that because Randall's pissed as hell about it. Did you see there's a Vine of Randall getting a rebound and then them running down the court side by side and D'Angelo Russell just begging for the ball, being like, dude, on the point guard, on the point guard, on the point guard, and Randall wouldn't even look at him.
I don't feel bad for D'Angelo Russell because he's a dickhead, but at some point I will feel bad for him, if that makes sense, because this is something in like 15 years people will still being like, we're not talking near you because you're a snitch. He will never, ever get rid of this.
The funniest thing is that, remember when they had, what was it, the ESPN, the magazine covers earlier this year, right after the draft, where it was like it was like KG hugging Karl Anthony Towns. It was Kobe hugging D'Angelo Russell. This is right out of Kobe's book. Kobe did exactly this. Kobe snitched on Shaq.
Yeah. And Kobe, I'm surprised Kobe hasn't, he should just step in there and like either beat D'Angelo Russell's ass or do something as his last like gift to the Lakers. I feel like this is almost, Kobe has to solve this.
How did Iggy respond to it? I didn't see it.
She tweeted that, I see D'Angelo Russell is trending. I liked that film. Thanks, man, or something like that.
Yeah.
She was trying
to play the cool girl.
To call a Snapchat video or whatever video a film. Fuck you. One little insight into the Barstool world about this video. Moments ago, Gaz came in and said it's kind of bullshit that no one's mad at Swaggy P for cheating. He's like, if you cheat, like, he's like, it's not on D'Angelo Russell. Like, someone should tell. Like, he's such the little finger of Barstool who loves stirring the fucking pot. Like, Gaz, this will just everyone remember this for The Office. If you're cheating on your girlfriend, don't fucking say it around Gaz because he'll snitch in a second.
But
unbelievable.
Okay, never mind.
Also,
No,
the
that's
the last thing
by him. He is D'Angelo Russell.
The last thing that's important from this video, when they're talking about the ages, Swaggy P's fucking 30. You can be that weird kind of dickhead named Swaggy P at like 24 at the max. You can't be Swaggy P wearing gold chains and shit like that and Yeezys in a basketball game at 30. You're fucking too old for that shit, man.
That's like a Portnoy move. Like, imagine if I was Swaggy Cat tomorrow. People are like, dude, you're a fat 31-year-old. What are you talking about? Can't do that. I agree.
Next up, America is slowly, I guess, considering getting rid of algebra. It doesn't make sense. We don't need it. Kids hate it. There are now 50 community college, which isn't really a ringing endorsement for this idea, but 50 community college who have adopted it. They got rid of it because the kids hate it, and they drop out of community college. And I guess it's going well. I guess everyone likes this new idea. Dan, what's your take on algebra?
It sounds good to me. I'm in. I don't even know what I don't know what exactly algebra is compared to the other maths. Is it just simple? No, arithmetic. I know.
It's the X's and Y's. Like, this is
yeah. Fucking hated that shit. I've been so far out of school and math that I wouldn't even be able to tell you what algebra is. So fine, get rid of it.
Keith.
Bye.
I would argue that I'm the worst at math in this entire company. Like, you can check my, I promise you can check my GChat history with Kevin. I have to ask him every week, like, what is just basic math questions. Like, what was 10,000 minus 1,000 or something like that? Like, I just cannot process it in my brain. So I'm fine with this in conclusion.
The math as a whole can go, as far as I'm concerned, because the statement that teachers would always tell you is that you're not always going to have your calculator. That has been proven incorrect. Steve Jobs stepped up, called all your teachers fucking idiots. We all have our calculators at all times. There's really nothing, unless you're going to engineering school or some shit like that, you don't fucking need math.
Yeah, so they should, scientists, engineers, actual smart people, they can take math. They should have that for them so they can be smart and make shit. You can learn at a pretty young age if you're not going to get math, so you shouldn't be forced to take it. I obviously couldn't understand it, so don't make me take it. Let me go write and spell shit.
I was so bad at math, I couldn't even, like, I still to this day, I haven't figured out, like, a TI calculator. I have no idea how those things work. I use those for addition and subtraction, and that's it. Like, all the graphing bullshit, I have no idea.
They should, to get rid of algebra, add gambler's math. Like, I'll teach that course. You basically just need to be able to add to numbers like between 42 and 60 for football. You know, like you get that like 190 to 215 in basketball. Just get that. That's really all you need. So I'll teach gambler's math to America if they want that course.
I can't do long division. Can you guys do long division?
No. I can't do anything anymore, Keith. I can't do fucking...
I forgot.
I can't do short division.
I forgot like the third step or something. I just could not physically do it.
There was a blog the other day that I did. I forget what it was for. Oh, it was for The Office. The Office, like, you know how they do those, like, you have X amount of money and you have to choose your characters or your players or whatever it is. I did that for The Office, and I wrote all my math out. And then I did the blog and kind of double-checked my work on a calculator. It wasn't even fucking close. Like, my salary cap was $50,000. I was at, like, 76 grand and thought I was totally... I had to redo the whole fucking thing. It was terrible. Next up...
Math sucks.
It's the worst. Next up, Coach LeBron. He's standing on the sidelines. That's really all we need to say for this, to introduce it. It's Coach LeBron. Dan, what do you got?
I don't know what you do. If you're Tyrone Lue, I mean, it's just such a blatant disrespect for you. And I know that he was put in to be the coach because he's friends with LeBron. But LeBron just, like, grandstanding and trying to teach the kids and all that bullshit. It's nauseating. Not to mention that he looked like shit. I hated that shirt he was wearing. Awful.
Same.
Awful.
Keith?
He's on a roll here. He keeps topping himself When he went back to Cleveland, he actually made me like him for a little bit, and that just makes me hate myself now, seeing how he's double and triple down on being a complete asshole. And it also sucks because it validates everything Portnoy says, because I never want to agree with that guy. And he's like been pretty much right about LeBron, unfortunately. It's just getting worse every day.
I agree with everything. That's really all I have to add to it. He's the fucking worst. I especially agree with Keith and the agreeing with Portnoy thing. I fought for LeBron. That's what really hurts. Like I really fought for him when he went back to Cleveland. I was like, he's righting his wrongs. He's not righting his wrongs, but like he's showing he clearly cares about his hometown and wants to win them a championship. He's the worst. He's the fucking worst.
Well,
I can't.
And he's also doing it the reverse way, because as his skills diminish, and they're not. I mean, he's obviously still top 3 player. Probably. I mean, I'd probably go Steph, Durant, LeBron, but he's obviously a force. But he keeps doing these crazy things, and as his skills diminish, it like the craziness takes over. Whereas like my argument a few years ago was LeBron was at such a peak and he was doing things that we'd never seen, that even with all his bullshit, you'd have to at least like appreciate what he's doing. Now, as he's getting worse, like you don't have to appreciate it as much, and the bullshit is somehow getting more and more every single day.
Yeah,
He kind of reminds me of like those old Hollywood actresses who just lose it in their old age, and this doesn't make any sense. Next, Antonio Brown.
Good pull. That was a
that's
good
good.
pull right there.
It was. I had it in my. I still have it in my head. It makes sense, but I
Nope.
won't be able to verbalize it.
Yep.
Antonio Brown. He keeps getting boners on Dancing with the Stars when he practice. He says blood flow is a huge issue with him. This is really just a question. Do you get boners dancing with girls? I remember we've had this fight before with Dave, where Dave called me gay because I don't. I think if you get boners dancing with a girl, you're a fucking child. That happens in middle school. After that, you can't be fucking getting wood just grinding with a girl.
I can't remember the last time I grinded with a girl. Like, the wedding I did.
Do you remember grinding?
Grinding
dude,
was the worst.
so
Well,
funny.
grinding is what's happening on Dancing with the Stars. I certainly don't grind
Do you
anymore.
grind? Like, I used to. When I used to, I definitely got boners.
Grinding, dude. Grinding used to be so awesome. That was the fucking best. Like way back now, I'm talking grinding.
Yeah.
Like middle school, that shit was like nothing better than grinding.
John, you didn't get boners doing that?
In middle school, I did. That's what my
Yes.
argument is. Like, once
Yeah.
you're an adult, like, you can't be getting fucking boners at the bar.
Well, especially Antonio Brown, because I would understand if like one of us got around a blazing hot 10 and you're like, holy shit, I've never been around a chick like this. Antonio Brown's a professional athlete. He should act like he's been there before. You shouldn't be getting boners by touching blazing hot women when you're a pro athlete and one of the best wide receivers in the NFL.
I don't think I agree with these takes. I think that I would definitely get a boner if someone started grinding on me relatively attractive. You can't help it. It's just the friction.
Well, I mean, how much grinding? Like
just standard fucking bar dancing. But first of all, I
No,
think
I
the
don't-
alcohol at a bar is a
I agree
factor,
with-
obviously. What's that?
I agree with you, John. If like standard bar dancing, which I don't even know who dances at bars anymore. But standard bar dancing, if you get a boner, you're a child.
An absolute child. Keith, you're a child.
It hasn't actually happened. I haven't danced in a bar in a long time. But if I did, I would assume that I would get a boner.
I remember when Dave and I had this fight, he's like, "Oh, dude, you're just gay." I was like, "You're a 40-year-old who gets boners at a bar. Like, well, how the fuck am I coming out looking worse than this? You look like a fucking idiot, dude."
That's a scary thought. Dave just walking around bars with boners. Come on, man.
Commercial. That probably won't work. Last but not least, last but least, Donald Trump looked like a fucking idiot last night with Anderson Cooper. Anderson Cooper, just play the clip. Play the fucking clip.
It was a nice picture of Heidi. I thought it was fine.
Come on.
I thought it was fine. She's a pretty woman.
You're running for president of the United States.
Excuse me. I didn't start it.
Okay, I
didn't start it.
But, sir, with all due respect, that's the argument of a 5-year-old.
I didn't start it. No, it's not the.
Yeah,
no, it's
the argument of a 5-year-old is
excuse me,
he started
You
it.
would say that. That's the problem with our country.
Every parent knows
that's
a kid
not
who
a
says
5-year-old.
he started
Excuse me.
it.
No. That's the problem.
I hate this guy so much. I've never been so passionate. I've never been passionate at all about politics. I hate Donald Trump with all of my fucking heart. I hate watched this clip last night like 10 times. This guy's a fucking loser idiot. And one of the things I'm most mad about him for is he's going to make Hillary president. But he fucking sucks. I hate everything about him. This was the most childish fucking bullshit ever last night. Keith, you're like the big conservative here. Who you got?
No, I'm not. I said.
I know.
First of all, are you just realizing this is him every time he talks?
Yeah, but this was especially childish.
It was childish. If you listen to what he's actually saying in his debates and stuff, the substance of it, there's never anything there, and it's not new that he is a horrible candidate. I said in my blog when everyone was saying I was so conservative that I would shoot myself in the face before I ever voted for Donald Trump. So just to clear that up.
There's a few things. One, I love how everyone thinks that he's like this big bad tough guy. He's a talk tough guy, like, oh man, he tells you how it is. He's a baby. That was the biggest baby move I've ever seen. He's not only a baby, he's so thin-skinned. The fact that he couldn't honestly take the fact that he was being called a 5-year-old, which he was acting like a 5-year-old, and he got visibly upset, visibly rattled, and then immediately he turns. I love the default is this is exactly what's wrong with this country.
That's what it was. It's right. Like when you fight with your girlfriend and she just makes it about something way bigger. It's like, no, this isn't the fucking problem with this country. This is you being a child right fucking now.
I wish Dave was on this rundown because honestly, I don't know how you defend. I understand the Trump allure with like the comedy, and I actually have laughed at a lot of stuff he's done. But this particular clip, if you can watch this clip and not say this guy is the biggest fucking child you've ever seen, like I don't know if you have eyes and a brain.
No, listen. I can appreciate what Trump did and what he's doing. Politics sucks and it's broken, and having an outsider come in and tell it like it is has definitely been refreshing, even if you don't agree with some of the stuff he's saying. But to say that he's this big bad bully who's like this tough guy, when you're right, he is the most thin-skinned. He wants to make it so that you can't possibly make fun of him, or else he'll crush you. Like that's not being thick-skinned. We get made fun of constantly for our jobs, and we don't barely ever fight back about it.
Facts.
That's the rundown.
If we fought back like Donald Trump fights back, we would spend our entire day tweeting like about commenters and people on Twitter and being like and retweeting mean things and stuff.
Yeah.
He honestly fights back on every mean thing that's ever said to him. I don't know how he does it. It must be exhausting.
He just he doesn't really do it. He just retweets, but he uses that like as his crutch. Like, oh no, just a retweet.
Right. And trying to say that wasn't an ugly picture. I mean, now he knew exactly what he was doing. Do we have anything? Oh, Dave's dead.
You had something you wanted to say beforehand.
I don't know. Dave's dead. That tooth is dead. He's got it. I've seen someone with what he has. It's an abscessed tooth. He's got bacteria in his gums. He might take half his face off. That would be unbelievable. Could you imagine if Dave came back with half a face?
Oh.
It was like a smoker with like no chin.
That'd be the best. And couldn't talk.
All because he was too tough to go to the dentist. What a story that would be.
Speaking of the dentist, that fucking blog he wrote yesterday, it ruined our tips email. It's all for the last 24 hours. It's been people just saying, like, just sending in their dentist from all over the place. like, oh, I got this guy up in Saratoga. He's the fucking best. Oh, I got this guy in Warwick, Rhode Island. He's great. Like, what the fuck do you care if Dave goes to your fucking dentist? It was a stupid blog. He didn't actually want fucking recommendations.
That's one of those cases, though. You got to take the good with the bad. I appreciate when you ask for a tip and they just like tell you, because a lot of times you actually need it. This is one that probably went overboard. But like when I said I needed Adderall and I got about 1 million, or I needed a bookie and I got 1 million emails. So
I did that with
that we have. I appreciate that there are people out there who care enough to email us. I do agree. People sending like dentists from Nebraska. That's a little over.
That's the move if you need something that costs money. Like if you need, say, oh, I need a new something, and then they send you offers like, oh, I'll hook you up with that. I have a free connection. This is the dentist, which we just got dental insurance. It's completely free. Just pick a dentist and go to it. Like there's no benefit to doing this.
I hope. Is he videotaping his dentist?
What?
Is he videotaping his dentist visit?
I I would imagine no, but I don't know.
Gaz isn't with him.
No.
That's
Gaz
a big
is-
loss. That's a big loss.
Dave's
for
back
us.
in New York.
Okay. I was gonna say for a guy who's about content, watching him go into the dentist for the first time in 14 years. I mean, you can't get better content than that.
I haven't been to a dentist in 6 years probably, and that's not quite 6 years. 3 years. 3 years. I've had that gum shit you guys were talking about yesterday, the receding gums, and they gotta get them replaced. It's the fucking worst. But I got that done, and that was the last time I've been, which was probably like 3 years ago.
All right. I don't think we have anything. Oh yeah, check out Dave's podcast tomorrow. He has Frank Kaminsky, the Chicago, Wisconsin guy, on his podcast.
And a bunch of stoolies calling in and asking him who he has sex with.
It was interesting. I called in.
Oh, I still need a podcast if you guys have any ideas. So,
Okay. We'll hook you up with one.
all right.
All right.
All
See ya.
right, later, guys.